The two most common questions I get as an infectious disease doctor from my patients are: one, doc, is there something wrong with my immune system? And two, how can I strengthen my immune system? So to answer those two questions, one really needs to understand the relationship between the immune system and the microbiome, those trillions of bacteria and fungi and other microbes that line your gut and your digestive tract. So if we haven't met, I'm Dr. Katrina Coulter. I'm an infectious disease specialist, and I make educational health videos focused on the microbiome. And this is specifically the reason why I care so much about the microbiome, because of its relationship with your immune system. So let's get into that on today's video. Now, this is a big topic, and this will be part one of the series on the immune system. So stay tuned for the subsequent parts in my next videos. Before we get into it, I have a really exciting announcement to make that I've been waiting to share with you guys, and we're finally at that point where it's time to get this out there, and that is that I am opening an infectious disease clinic in Southern Colorado in 2026. So it will be called Infinity ID and Wellness, and it will be opening up in Canyon City at the end of February, early March. I have a website that is going live where you can come on over and check it out and get on the waiting list. It is infinityidclinic.com. So if you are in Colorado and you're looking for an infectious disease doctor, please come on over. I would love to see you as a patient. Now let's get into the video. So the immune system has a very close relationship with the microbiome, and understanding this relationship is essential to optimizing your immune system. So I like to think of it as the immune system has three major jobs. Job number one is to recognize what is a threat. And this is the most common thing that we think of when we think of the immune system, is that it fights off infections, it fights off colds. So the immune system needs to recognize if the bacteria or the virus or fungi or parasite that you're being exposed to is a threat, and then respond to that threat. In addition to these foreign invaders that I just named, the immune system also has the role of recognizing when your own cells are threats. And this means surveying for cancerous cells or cells that are acting out of place, not operating under the traditional manual, not dying when they're supposed to die, or overgrowing their neighbors. So the immune system plays a critical role in preventing cancer in your body. It also recognizes other things that are not foreign invaders like bacteria or viruses, but things like toxins or irritants or pollutants as threat. So that's its primary role. The second role of the immune system, which is also very important, is recognizing when things are harmless and not reacting to them. So these might be things like food or allergens, things like pollen, and also your own tissues. So while it's looking for cancer cells that are acting abnormally, or sus, as the kids say, it's also important for the immune system to recognize which cells of your own body are your cells and should not be attacked. And then the third function of the immune system is to keep everything in balance. So you want to respond appropriately when there is a threat, because if you don't respond, then that will result in illness or cancer. Or you don't want to overreact when something is not a threat, because if you do, that results in autoimmune conditions or allergies. And so the immune system plays this very critical role in maintaining this balance between inflammation and not inflammation. So one way that I really like to think of the immune system and help people understand it is to think of it as your military. Your military's job is to keep the peace. It's not always to go out and start a war, but to maintain borders and to help keep the peace. And so that helps us understand the role of the microbiome in training and maintaining your immune system. So a healthy immune system is not aggressive, it is intelligent. So it is surveying and then knowing when to respond with violence or knowing when to stand down. In thinking of the immune system as your military, we can divide it into two branches, and this helps you further understand how this immune system works. So the first branch is the innate immune system. So this is the very non-specific, very not specialized. It's kind of the general immune system that responds to everything. The second branch is called the humoral immune system or the adaptive immune system. And this is the immune system that learns. So your innate immune system, your non-specific one, is the very rapid, fast first defense. And so you could think of this as a soldier that is not specialized. This is maybe a frontline type of soldier whose job is just to get in and neutralize the threat. So this is the group that is spraying and praying. They are attacking first and asking questions second. So this responds very rapidly and initially to the threat. This innate immune system would be your skin and your gut lining and your macrophages or your big eater immune cells that are just going out and sampling and saying, this is what I found and I reacted to it. This innate immune system is heavily influenced by the microbiome. And if you think about where the microbiome is, this makes perfect sense. So your microbiome lives on your skin, which is your barrier to the outside world. And your microbiome lives from mouth to anus, which if you think about it, and maybe you haven't thought about it because you think it's disgusting, but this is just how you are anatomically designed. You are an open tube from mouth to anus, colonized with these trillions of microbes. And so this is how we interact with the outside world. This is how the outside world passes through us, and we extract energy from that outside world. So the adaptive immune system works a little bit different. These are your highly trained, more specialized soldiers in your military. These are the T cells and B cells that learn. These are the memory cells. And so these get smarter over time. These are the ones where once you've had an infection, they remember that infection and they have a game plan ready to roll out the next time that infection is encountered. And this is how vaccinations work, is by training these type of cells. These type of cells also are trained by your microbiome. These cells get smarter over time. So the key point here is that you have these two different types of, or two different branches of your immune system, but both are heavily influenced by the microbiome, by your trillions of microbes that live in you and on you, but are not of you. They are training your immune system. So I like to think of the gut microbiome as boot camp. And that's because at any given time, between 70 and 80% of your immune cells and your immune tissue is located in your gut. Yes, 70 to 80%. So what is going on there is we have something called the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. And there's some various different branches of this, like your Peyer's patches, even your appendix is actually part of that gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or GALT. So Your immune system is constantly sampling the contents of your gut and bringing them back into this GALT, this lymphoid tissue, and determining whether this is a friend or a foe, and using this to train your immune system as to how to react. In addition, these microbes that are in the microbiome are competing for real estate along the intestinal cell wall with these more aggressive pathogenic bacteria. So they're training your immune system, they're competing out the more aggressive bacteria, and they're also releasing signals that tell your gut and your other immune cells to release certain types of cytokines that are either inflammatory or that are non-inflammatory. And so this is crucial. Think of during the COVID pandemic, how there was such a vast array of different responses to the infection. So some people were totally asymptomatic. They had zero symptoms, and the only way they knew they had COVID was because they took a test, because they'd been exposed or whatever. And other people ended up in the ICU on ventilators for weeks and debilitated for months. And some people are still experiencing the aftermath of long COVID, which is an immune dysregulation. So that was a cascade of events set into motion by the virus that then continues on long after the virus is gone. And so what dictates this is the tone and the functioning of your immune system. So your microbiome is like the flight simulator. They are going through the motions and training your immune system prior to the actual threat happening. And then when the threat happens, they determine your response to it. And so there are so many things that affect your immune system because they affect your microbiome. And those are all the things we've talked about so far on my Microbiome Mondays or on these various videos. So please review the videos or the prior recordings if you're looking for what affects my microbiome. But I'll give you the quick rundown. It's food, the food choices that you make, it's the sleep that you get, it's your emotional state, whether you're in a high anxiety, high stress state constantly, or you're calm and cool and collected all of the time. Your sleep is a huge player here. Antibiotics are a big player. Exercise is a big player. And so I've got videos on all of these things with nice tips, and we can go over these in the subsequent series on this. Because this is such a big topic, I'm going to be giving a free webinar later this month. So if you are interested, go ahead and drop webinar in the comments, and that way I can get in touch with you and send you the link. Stay tuned, there'll be more information coming up on that. Otherwise, share this with somebody that needs to know it. Review those prior videos that I've made. Come on over to infinityidclinic.com to check out my new clinic space. And if you're not in Colorado and you'd like to work with me because this is resonating, you are hearing things that I'm saying that make you realize, hey, maybe my microbiome has been a little disrupted and it's time to start working on that. I would love to work with you one-on-one through some personalized health coaching, and that's at KatrinaCoulterMD.com. So I will see you on the next video.